All right, everyone, let's start on a lighter note. What do you say? Bringing you right out here to Phoenix, Arizona. Plenty of sunshine, but also lots of wind out there today. It is very windy, which makes it feel colder than it really is, but we've definitely had some storm systems, some activity in the weather moving around. So I'm going to bring you right out here to Arizona for this first top story I have for you, and that's because have you or have you not seen Captain Marvel? Let me know. I haven't been able to make it to the theaters yet. I would like to see it. I heard it's a great movie, great storyline. We've got some female leads in it, so I definitely want to watch it. And Troy Hayden lets us know that one of the actresses trained right here at Luke Air Force Base. Let's watch.
Where's your head at?
In the clouds. Where's yours?
On my shoulders. About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Higher, further, faster, baby.
That's right.
Lashana Lynch came to Luke Air Force Base last April to train for her role as Maria Rambeau in Captain Marvel. She trained with Lieutenant Colonel Kristen Hubbard, 310 Fighter Squadron Commander.
I felt very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with her because she gets to tell, like I said, she gets to tell our story.
They flew bombing runs over the Goldwater Range in southern Arizona.
We pulled about 7 Gs and yanked and banked, as we say, and she hung in there like a champ. 7
Gs without losing her cookies, as they say. Lieutenant Colonel Hubbard is proud of helping play a small role in the making of the movie.
I'm humbled to have the opportunity to hang out with the actresses.
And she hopes young women who see the movie see what's possible for them.
I felt, yes, I'm a role model. It's a great opportunity to be there, and I hope that someday I can inspire the next generation of female fighter pilots.
Hubbard believes too many people oftentimes ask themselves how hard something is, when instead they should be asking themselves how they can get it done.
I reflect often on my role as a squadron commander and as a female. I'm a mom of 2 as well. You know, I recognize that unfortunately there aren't as many women in this position, but we're trying to continue to grow our future leaders.
Troy Hayden, Fox 10 News.
All right, what did you all think about that? Again, I haven't seen it yet, but hopefully I will be able to get to the theaters soon because it looks like it's a good movie, right? Okay, so staying here in Arizona, but we're going to southern Arizona. So think like Tucson, like Green Valley. Matter of fact, I believe this story is in Green Valley. And it's a story about a dog attacked by some bees.
An aggressive swarm taking aim at Sudi, a 12-year-old lab mix on a patio. You see fire crews working through the fence for the first bee attack this year.
These bees have already made an attack, and so we're bringing this dog away from it, and the bees are following us. And as people are coming out, they're getting stung too.
Battalion Chief Greg Vanelstein says a close complex like this is also a cause for concern. That white foam sprayed for more than an hour to keep the bees from buzzing to neighbors.
Firemen, we don't have the tools to really get rid of a hive. We leave that to the professionals.
And that's where Greg Williams with Desert Swarm Bee Removal comes in.
This is what I do. And if this hive is this aggressive, it's probably been living there since last year.
On scene to assess this situation where the dog sadly did not make it. It seems a little early for an attack like this in southern Arizona. And while Williams says bees don't follow a calendar,
I mean, you can have aggressive bees 365. It depends on if they're provoked or not.
He says some weather we've been experiencing could be something to keep in mind heading into spring.
But it's not surprising based on how wet last year was, how strong the hives were going into winter. There's a lot of ground cover right now, so the hives are ramping up, say, prior to when they would, simply because we haven't had ground cover like this in years.
The battalion chief says he does expect to see more bee calls at the end of this month going into April. The most important thing to remember tonight is you most likely won't see a hive around your home or business, but you may see a small group of bees going into cracks or any holes in any walls. That is when you need to call for help from the professionals, because as we saw today, the smallest disruption could create a nightmare situation. In Green Valley, Melissa Egan, Fox 11 News.
Yeah, so frightening, right, everybody? That story certainly has a lot of you talking on the YouTube chat. Matter of fact, there's currently 470 of you here. Thanks for watching News Now, which is a part of Fox10Phoenix.com. Please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, everybody you know about us. We do this Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Arizona time, usually for the next 3 days. That's Thursday, Friday, Monday. The stream will be ending at 4 p.m. Arizona time. Just wanted to give you all a heads up ahead of time. All right, we are going to head out to the state of Mississippi, and it's a story about what some some are calling zombie deer disease. Now, when I lived in Texas, remember, I was a reporter in Texas for 5 years. The last 2 years I spent in San Antonio, Texas, and I had to, well, 2.5, and I had to cover chronic wasting disease in deer. That's what this story is about. Some people now dubbing it zombie deer disease. So let's get the details as to what it is and how to fight it.
When it comes to hunting, Brian Clark is a straight shooter.
I have not changed my procedure since I was a kid, and he's straight nutty anyway.
The archery store owner says he doesn't plan on it next hunting season now that zombie deer are out lurking around.
Yeah, I'm not overly cautious at all.
Mississippi's executive director of the Wildlife Bureau says the deer aren't zombies. They're actually suffering from deterioration of the brain called chronic wasting disease, and hunters like Clark are the key to preventing the spread of it. The more people hunt, the lower the disease's prevalence.
We encourage hunters to continue doing what you've always done. Go out there and hunt.
At least 24 states, including Mississippi, have discovered deer who have tested positive for CWD. It's transferable through bodily fluids, making it fairly simple for deer to pass it on, even after death.
If they die in the environment, their carcasses degenerate, decay, and release the infective agent into the soil.
Experts say the easiest way to spread chronic wasting disease is transporting an infected animal from one state to the next. They say it could be a recipe for disaster.
The most important method of management is keeping it out of your state, minimizing the importation of any part of a harvested animal.
So far, at least 16 states have banned hunters from transporting deer carcasses from either CWD positive states or anywhere across state lines. Back at B&B Archery, Clark is hoping the issues slow down because he's already come across customers who are too concerned.
They wasn't going to hunt, so they didn't see any reason why they should buy any new equipment.
And that's no good for his bottom line. In Starkville, Mississippi, Charles Watson, Fox News.
Wow, it was very interesting to see another reporter's take on chronic wasting disease. What do you all think? It appears that they're asking hunters to do all they can to help stop the spread there. Okay, well, it's the story of yesterday and the story carrying into today. It's the story everybody's talking about, the college admissions scandal. Promise I can talk today, everybody. The college admissions scandal. Well, some high schoolers are now responding to the news.
Every week I do the regular class course, plus I do individual prepping so I can get a good score to get into college.
Inside a building at Jack London Square in Oakland, College Track helps high school students from low-income families find a path to success in higher education.
I struggle a lot, but then I go for help.
Y equals 3x plus 1 million.
This is a free program that offers tutoring, counseling, and test preparations to help students for as long as 10 years through high school, college, and until they get a degree. Many here are striving to be the first in their family to get a college education. They say news that wealthy parents are bribing college officials and coaches to get their children admitted to prestigious schools is disheartening.
I could be acing all my math classes or all my English classes just for someone else to take my spot. So that's really demotivating.
It's a slap in the face to people that work hard because we don't have that opportunity and we have to stay up late at night to do homework and to study for things. So I just don't feel that it's fair.
Did you have any other things that?
Students tell me they come here for tutoring up to 3 times a week to try to make sure they get good grades and perform well on standardized tests. They say the privileged parents involved in the bribery scheme are cheating.
It makes me angry because right now I have to work hard.
And when people have the money to just pay for their kids to cheat through, all the requirements for college, it just puts me at a higher disadvantage.
The site director for College Track Oakland says the revelation of a bribery scheme is a reality check that the playing field is not always even.
This is one of the hardest lessons that they'll learn while they're young. It's good that they learn it now, and they'll learn how to get past it and defeat it.
Oh man, I feel like that story's kind of taken us all back, thinking back on our high school and college days for those who went to college. But high school, not easy, making good grades, doing all those advanced placement courses, playing sports, being involved in music, all the extracurriculars, National Academic League, that sort of stuff like that. And it's a lot of pressure. in order to try to get into the school of your dreams. So to those of you working hard out there, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. All right. Well, Paul Manafort, it's a name that we've been hearing a lot here on News Now, right? Turns out the second sentencing has been handed down. So let's get the details.
D.C. Judge Amy Jackson in total sentencing Paul Manafort to 73 months in prison, saying he wasn't public enemy number one, but wasn't a victim either. Only a portion of that sentence can be served at the same time as the nearly 4 years he was handed in Virginia last week. He'll get credit for the 9 months he's already served for a total of 7.5 years behind bars. Before the decision was handed down, Manafort telling the court he's ashamed, asking for compassion. Manafort turned 70 in 3 weeks, and his health is deteriorating.
It's not so much a function of this judge being harsh. That's what the sentencing guidelines are.
In D.C., the 2 counts stemmed from conspiracy and witness tampering. In Virginia's sentencing, the 8 counts from tax and bank fraud. Manafort was charged by the special counsel Robert Mueller's team.
There was no evidence of any collusion with Russia or any of that, but bank fraud and tax fraud are serious offenses against the American people.
President Trump has openly expressed empathy for Manafort, and he has the constitutional right to pardon offenders of federal crimes. But if he did that, Democrats could accuse the president of obstruction of justice and abuse of power, and that might further embolden those already talking of impeachment.
This should not be a Republican or a Democrat question. This should be a question of right or wrong. And if the president has committed wrongs that rise to the level of impeachable offenses, then I hope all members of Congress would do their constitutional duty.
Manafort's sentencing comes as the Mueller investigation is believed to be nearing its end. Lawmakers have called for the special counsel's final report to be made public without redactions. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
All right, Lauren, thanks so much for that update there. We are taking a live look at the big board. Dow Jones Industrial currently up about 90 points. It dipped just a little bit with President Trump's announcement of planes being grounded, but now it's slowly creeping back up there. Still nothing but green today on the big board, which is good news for people invested in the stock market, 401ks and the like. All right, well, the reason I brought up the Dow Jones Industrial big board is because Tracy Carrasco is here to get us all caught up with some of our day's business top stories.
A mixed day on Wall Street. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ rose while the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 96 points. Shares of Boeing weighing on the Dow and under pressure following the fatal crash of one of its best-selling jets, the 737 MAX 8. The stock fell 5% on Monday and 6% on Tuesday, marking the largest two-day drop since 2009. This comes as more countries and airlines are grounding these 737 MAX 8 planes. Dick's Sporting Goods is planning to eliminate guns and other hunting products from 125 of its more than 700 stores. Dick's will replace those items with other sports gear and outdoor recreation equipment. The retailer tested the new gun-free model in 10 stores in recent months and will expand it to markets where the hunting category underperforms. The sporting goods chain tightened its gun policies last year following the Parkland, Florida school shooting. For more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Tracy Carrasco.
Thanks so much for that, Tracy. We are taking a live look now at traffic conditions here in the Valley of the Sun. This is I-10 westbound at Litchfield. Plenty of cars on the road considering it is a Wednesday afternoon, but it looks like things are moving smoothly, so that's good. A lot of semi-trucks hauling the cargo across the country. Remember, I-10 goes all the way from California to Florida on the southern edge of the United States, goes right through the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. All right, more news now coming up. You never know what's going to break. We are waiting for that FAA news conference. We'll carry it for you live as soon as we get it. Again, thanks so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, everybody you know, anybody you talk to at the water cooler. Hey, have you heard about News Now? We'd appreciate it. Thanks for being here.